sadly, Peter, I think this means further division in an already divided country. Now, Judge Amy Coney Barrett has solid credentials. She's a solid pick. She's deeply conservative. There's no question about that. But the mayhem that's surrounding the rush to nominate her, to hold Senate hearings, and to have a Senate vote has deeply politicized her nomination, perhaps far more than any other. Now, she's a solid judicial candidate. You know, she was at Notre Dame University. She was appointed to the US Federal Court of Appeals for the 7th District by President Trump. You know, she knows the law. She was a clerk, or what we would call an associate, for the former Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia. And very much like him, she's a virtualist or a black letter lawyer. She wants to read the words and follow the law as it stands. And she has vowed, as you'll now hear, to represent everybody on the court. Listen to this.
I would assume this role to serve you. I would discharge the judicial oath, which requires me to administer justice without respect to persons, do equal right to the poor and rich, and faithfully and impartially discharge my duties under the United States Constitution.
Now, part of the division that this nomination creates, I mean, this is the first time anyone's ever nominated a Supreme Court judge during an election. Hundreds of thousands of Americans are already submitting their ballots for the presidential election, but her Catholicism is going to become a major issue. 3 times she's ruled against abortion. And President Trump, when he nominated her at the White House in the Rose Garden, specifically mentioned gun rights and religious liberty and public safety as some of her stronger positions. Look, the real issue here is the rush. Is this rush to put her in a position where she may be part of a court to decide a contested election, as we saw with Gore versus Bush and the famous hanging chads? Is that, will this, hastiness erode the public's faith in the great institution of the Supreme Court? Because everyone here in America believes in the Constitution and believes in the Supreme Court as an honest arbitrator. And the question is, will the process for this particular nominee at this particular time dig away at that public faith?
There's something's going to happen after this election. There's going to be no easy handover, regardless of who wins. What's your prediction there?
Oh, prediction? I haven't got a clue, mate. Look,
I'll tell you what might happen, though. China will invade Taiwan while the world's attention is on the US. What do you think about that?
Well, put it this way. Just a week or two ago, America sent its highest grade ambassador to Taiwan in decades. And while that ambassador was there speaking, China flew something like 16 fighter jets and bombers, along Taiwanese airspace. Meanwhile, America is upping arms sales to Taiwan. The idea is, look, if China wants to invade Taiwan, they're going to take it. Yeah. So the arms sales are designed to enable Taiwan to hold off China long enough for the cavalry to arrive. So, look, that's a thorny question. And, the Secretary General of the United Nations last week said that his greatest fear is this great fracture between the world's two leading economies and two superpowers,
Yeah,
the United States and China.
That's an interesting space to watch.